Welcome, Spartans, to Mission Debrief. We've played every mission of the mainline Halo video games, and now we're playing every mission from the rest of the games in the franchise in chronological order. Each episode will be discussing our experiences and sprinkling in a little lore along the way. If you'd like to play along and have your thoughts read on the show, email us at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet at podcastevolved on Twitter. We'll be playing the Cartographer mission from Halo Wars 2 on the next episode. If you like what you hear and want to support the show, visit Podcast Evolved on Patreon. You can also receive a free audiobook trial by visiting audibletrial.com/podcastevolved. This episode, we're debriefing the 130 mission from Halo Wars 2. I'm your host, Colin Perkins, alongside David Arnold.
Hello, everybody.
And Krista Brown.
Hurricane Alice coming through.
Mm-hmm.
My girl.
She's
My
badass.
beautiful girl.
Last mission was Ascension. After sifting through the ashes of the banished salvage operation, the UNSC discovered a way to access the Ark's cartographer. Jerome 092 and a group of special forces were sent to a location near an elevator that could be used to access the room that holds Installation 00's secrets. However, just like back at Etrin Harborage, the team discovered the Forerunners don't like outsiders meddling with their super toys. In the end, the Spirit of Fire forces drove away the Banished, unlocked access to the elevator, and followed Anders towards the cartographer. Now, back at Alice. Remember, she last defended. She helped get Jerome and Douglas off of that ambush. Alice successfully escaped the ambush near Henry Lamb Research Outpost, and soon after located a number of Marine squads that had been captured by the Banished. With her trusty heavy machine gun and a knack for hijacking vehicles, she sets out to rescue her UNSC brothers and sisters and contact the Spirit of Fire for extraction. Date of the game is March 28th. I believe we're still all on the same day. Lots of happening here. 2559.
Busy day.
So, busy day. Let's start off. There's no cut scene. We'll see one. We'll see one in a little while. We might have a couple more missions. But let's talk about the intro dialogue. And David, you're going to take that since we don't have a cut scene to start with.
Yeah, no problem. The dialogue is pretty simple. It's probably here, and I probably should be looking at it. Sorry. Start log. So this is Alice talking to herself. Start log. Senior Chief Petty Officer Alice 130. I managed to make it out of the outpost, and I've been tracking an enemy convoy to one of their compounds. They took some of our troops prisoner back there, and I'm not going to leave them behind. I've spotted another research post, and I should be able to use it to send an encrypted message to the captain. I don't think they're expecting trouble. Time for me to give them some. End log.
Yeah.
That's just so dope.
She's so hard, man. This whole mission is so good. I got some good
Yeah.
quotes for her later. It's just good.
She's a bit of spiciness to Alice. Do you know what I mean?
She
Yeah.
is very spicy.
I like
Yeah.
her.
Jerome, so we've gotten some personality of Jerome, but he's more of a stoic. Like, he's hard, but he's more of a stoic, whereas she's spicy. Yeah, I like that. It's a good way to describe her.
She's
Jerome
like
is very
this
cheeky.
sarcastic. Yeah, Jerome is very cheeky. She's very
Yeah.
sarcastic and kind of like hoorah kind of personality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so we'll go through the mission summary really quick and all the details of the mission. So the just on screen it says rescue UNSC prisoners with Alice from deep behind enemy lines. That's the summary. Then the scouting report says even a lone Spartan can be a formidable force. Objectives: free the 4 groups of prisoners, take control of the research outpost, and then hold the line until extraction. We have some optional objectives: keep Alice alive for the entire mission. Also, don't let prisoner squads die. That's the skull objective. And then gather all of the resources. There's 16 of those scattered throughout. We have some bonus objectives: kill 3 units using the Spartan Slam. So again, we learned how to use that. That was last mission, right? Where we learned how to use that with Jerome.
Yes.
So we start that one off. Alice does a little bit of that right away. Then kill the scared grunt before he flees. We'll chat about that. Then kill 3 units with the Lotus Mines. Did we get that one? This is the first time they've showed up, right? We haven't seen Lotus Mines yet.
No,
And
they're
then-
totally new.
Yeah, and then Archer missiles, which we had been using in the previous mission. So we need to kill 3 units with archer missiles as well. Part time is 10 minutes. Again, the strategy guide must have been doubled everything. It said 20 minutes for some reason. I don't know. Scoring goals are it's big numbers here. So gold is 130,000, silver is 55 to 129, and then bronze is 19 to 54. The skull, as I mentioned, is to all you need to do is rescue or keep one of your rescued Marines alive, one of the squads alive, and then you unlock the Bountiful Harvest, which is supply from supply pads arrive 25% faster, but your final score decreases. So it's another one of those. It's like a good bad skull.
I would imagine that would be good for Legendary. I didn't actually have any of those skulls on for Legendary when I played, but if you just want to get the campaign done on the highest difficulty, you can put on these like little helpful things.
Yep, totally. All right, Krista, what's on the battlefield? What do we get?
Oh, let's see. Oh, we get Alice, of course. And she is so cool. We love Alice.
We do.
So, Douglas is still dead, and Jerome is off doing whatever Jerome is doing.
He's hanging out with Anders, off to the cartographer.
Yeah, poor Douglas.
He'll come back eventually.
No, he's dead.
Oh yeah, right.
We have some additional units that we get by rescuing them. The first ones we get are Hellbringers, and then we get some Cyclopses, and last but not least, we get some Marines that immediately jump into Warthogs, so they're Warthogs, I guess?
Yeah.
Because they don't pop out of the Warthogs.
There's a driver, and then there must be like a turret person, so I think there must be 4 of them.
Yeah. We have a bunch of Spirit of Fire abilities. Restoration Drones, Archer Missiles, Battle Hardened 1, which means people get their veterancy quicker.
Mm-hmm. That was unlocked for me like right away. Was that for for you too?
It was like it was on Heroic it was just automatically unlocked.
Okay. When
I started it. Eventually you get like 1 point to spend, but the only thing you can really spend it on is the Restoration Drone upgrade. Mm-hmm. So, and then we have the Lotus Mines, which are like little mines that you send down and they just stay there until an enemy goes on top of them and then they go boom.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, and so we have some banished units. No hero units, so no heroes today. We have Grunts and Brutes, Jump Pack Brutes, which suck.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck those guys.
They get their hammers.
I know, it's annoying. And then we have Hunters. Fuck those guys too. We have Choppers, Wraiths, and Marauders. Fun stuff.
Yeah, Marauders a new thing. It's
yeah,
like a weird thing.
It kind of looks like the vehicle from Halo 3 a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Prowler?
Yes, the Prowler. It looks very similar to a Prowler. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like a modified Prowler. It's a good way to describe it.
And then the only air unit we have is Spirit Dropships, which we can't do anything with. They just drop people off and leave.
Yeah. You see them at the beginning, and I don't even know if they show up later, but you do at least see them there.
You might be able to, like, sit where everyone spawns and see them, but you're kind of, like, in your little area.
All right, so this is a good mission to play on Legendary because, as we talked about, the harder you get, the more efficient the AI gets. But in this one, I believe, and I'm almost done with my Legendary playthrough, and I think I'm going to get gold on it based off the strategy I'll discuss here in a little bit. But each unit goes down exactly the same. Like there's no buffs, so Alice just rips through everybody like she does on the other difficulties. So if you can sort out how to manage to save everybody and get all the points that you need to get gold, or just beat this on Legendary, it's not too bad. So if you want to beat one mission on Legendary, this is the one. Or I guess the first mission probably too. You're just escaping. All right. So David, you just want to kick us off on what how Alice just kind of trots out with her heavy machine gun and the beginning of this mission?
For spiciness. So it's kind of cool. It's a great way to start, I think, just to give you the only unit you have as a Spartan at the start of the mission. and what a Spartan, because she kicks ass with her heavy machine gun. She moves pretty swift enough, like for somebody like moving with a huge gun, she moves, and which is kind of good because like I found a little bit difficult at the start, like that kind of bonus mission chasing after that grunt. I had to like Spartan slam after him and to kind of get myself close enough where she'd open fire.
Oh, okay.
Which is lucky, really, that I got away with it. So essentially, you come down this cliff area, you see some Marines trapped in like a shielded area, and it kind of tells you like just slam down. So you Spartan slam, and if you time it right, which I did like numerous times, you wipe out multiple units in one go. Spartan slam is awesome. To the point where like I slammed into a brute chopper and took it over, and like did not want to. I was like, "Get out of the chopper, girl! God damn it!" I thought you could jump them out, but it wouldn't.
Well, yeah, I had a tough time with that too. I picked that up from the guide, I think, is that you could get out, but I couldn't. I was in a chopper at one point too, and nope.
I thought it when you first did the slam, it did like a tutorial prompt to tell you that you, as Jerome, that you could get out. You know, when you take over the first raid.
Yeah,
I thought
maybe
told you
Alice
you could just
doesn't know
slam
how.
again. It's stupid, Alice. But anyway,
hey,
the chopper died real soon after, anyways. It wasn't too much of an issue. But anyway, this mission's really simple, where you have, like I said, the 4 objectives to get the 4 enemies. The rescue the friendlies from enemies. Save the troops. So you end up with essentially it's a linear kind of map. It's kind of lengthways. There's like maybe 2 lanes that you can kind of walk up through. So I went up kind of the middle and left, and then came back down to rescue the warhogs. Because when I saw that those things had like garrisons, I was like, "Oh, feck this! I need more troops before I take on a garrison unit."
Sure, those towers.
Yeah, they can be hard to shift. So I got my 2 units of Hellbringers, and
by the way, are Hellbringers? Is that accent? Are they all just from Scotland?
No, they sound exactly
Scottish
like David.
No, they don't. It's racist. They're they'd be like the northern regions of the UK for sure, and maybe a couple of Scottish thrown in. I wasn't 100% sure, but I would have. But like the more I listened to it, the more I was like, it kind of just sounds a bit northern, not quite Scottish accents, but
okay.
They all are.
Did you do the voices, David?
I wish. That money.
You get some money for that, right? So all flamethrower guys come from that region, from the northern UK, because they all have the same accent. Got it.
Well, that actually clearly distinguishes them from like the normal Marines, so maybe it just kind of helps you know the unit.
No, I like that they did that. I think it's cool.
Yeah. The mission does try to teach you about like groups and like say dragging units into groups and having them on kind of hotkeys. So that is a little bit awkward even on a controller, I found, but I'm glad you can do it, because you couldn't do it in the first game. And as an RTS, I love subgrouping my units. I think it's one of the key things about like, you know, implementing certain strategies around like maximizing the unit weaknesses. But didn't really use it in great effect in this game, because in this mission you don't have a lot of units, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you don't really have a choice over where you're being engaged for the most part. So anyway, as Alice, you go in and just rescue these units, but you should also very much so scour the map for resources and silos to take them down, because you're going to need them a little bit later. So like I said, I went up the map and around and back down to free the warhogs at the end. I kind of feel like the warhogs are a crappy unit to have in this.
They're not good.
They die almost immediately. It's really, especially with those hunters, they just get shredded. It takes like 2 hits for them to die.
Yeah.
I put them in their own group and just like used them to scout, and then like had them up at the back. Like, do you know what I mean? Like eventually you get to like this research base, this little kind of shanty town looking structure, and you have to hold and defend it. You're given 2 kind of places where you can build turrets, and you pretty much have to hold with what you got. So the max that you can get is 4 units of Hellraisers, Hellbringers, 3 Cyclops, and 4 Warhogs. But like your unit is just Alice. That's what you got to do. You got to throw Alice into the mix. She's got to tank all your damage for you. What I did here was build 2 turrets, but I think the turrets are kind of pointless. It gives
They
you the
die
option
almost
to build
immediately, and they just take up your resources.
Yeah, I think they were
They're
a
a
waste of
distraction.
resources. Yeah.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. You can build watchtowers, which kind of extend your range and allow you to see cloaked units. I didn't bother with this. I totally forgot that was a thing. I don't know if either of you guys built this. I don't even think cloaked units attack you in this.
No, they're cheap, but I didn't mess with that.
Yeah. You have to hold... You're given a leader power for Lotus Mines. You have the rare restoration drones. You have the archer missiles and the battle hardened, like you get at the very start. I thought it was the key just to get Alice. I gave Alice all the kills I could pretty much, so I gave her. She got veterancy pretty fast, up to level 3. So she was wrecking shop all over the place.
Yeah.
There were some really satisfying moments where a massive group of enemies attacked the base of like soldiers, and I just Spartan slammed in and killed about 4 or 5 squads in one go. It was glorious.
Isn't that good?
Oh man, it was so satisfying.
They get dazed too. Did you notice that?
Yeah, there's a bit of a stun, and she did like the kill animation so many times here of like
it's kind of
flipping guys up.
The kill animation's fun the first couple times, but I'd rather be able to move her around instead of watching that animation.
Yeah, she spends a couple of seconds doing it that I'd rather she'd spend shooting the next unit.
Right.
but like it's cool. Like the Lotus Mines I thought were pure rubbish. I dropped them a few times. Every unit saw them and shot them. So I'm not sure what I was doing wrong there. I don't know, but even one time I tried to drop it directly onto a unit and they just fired. They just shot at them, destroyed them, and kept walking.
I used them at one point. I played this mission a couple times just so I could figure out how to save everybody. But I dropped them. You know where the jump pack brutes come at the very, very end?
Yeah.
Like they jump at the same spot. So if you put some Lotus Mines right there,
it blows them up.
Jump on top.
Oh, that's a
of
good
them.
idea.
Yeah, and you can get your objective right there.
So the mission is pretty much just to hold this area for a few minutes. I'm not sure. It must be timed, I'd say, is it? I can't remember.
No,
There's no timer
waves.
on the screen.
It's certain waves.
Is it waves? Is it certain waves? Okay. So you face like some troops, some jump pack brutes. The marauders show up. There are choppers in the mission themselves, but they don't come as part of the waves. And you get some series of wraiths that come along as well. But it's pretty fun. I quite enjoyed it. I managed to save almost everything except my warthogs. I put all of my... Yeah, nice. I put my Hellbringers into the garrisons, 2 in each one.
And they did okay?
And, yeah, they were just like flame pits. And then I just had Alice and the Cyclopses and the... I brought in the Warhogs eventually, because I'm like, you might as well just use them as cannon fodder. So I just used them as a moving unit that I moved around between the 3 kind of entranceways. But it was okay. It wasn't too difficult. Well, obviously, I played it normal. It wasn't that difficult, but like I lost all my...
Did you take a Wraith with her?
No, I didn't actually. I didn't want to. I wanted to keep... I found her at like level 3 veterancy with Spartan Slam. Way too useful.
Sure.
To get rid of, because I also slammed into the group of jetpack brutes, so they were like a non-issue for me. But when they came in, so I was like, this is awesome. So I kept her out.
Yeah, the jetpack brutes is the last little bit that you have to take care of before the cutscene ends. I look at this as like a palate cleanser mission. That's kind of how they describe it too. In the guide, it's we've been learning some things. We've learned how to build a base and get more units in the last 2 missions. And then they're like, okay, you can have a break and just like do your little ball of death or just exploit Alice's powers on this next mission before we then get back to more base building stuff. Krista, how'd you fare?
Everyone died.
Oh no! Along the way, or just at the last?
No, just at the very last minute. Like the Hellbringers did do a very good job in their pits, and then I wasn't really like paying attention to what units I was fighting. I was just kind of sending the horde at people. So like the warthogs died from hunters pretty early on, and I wasn't being very tactical about it. What you should be doing is sending the unit to counter whatever units are in that wave.
Yeah,
but
right.
I was like, yeah, whatever. It's heroic.
Did you use your archer missiles at all?
No, I didn't. I kept making those stupid turrets, which I probably shouldn't have because they were just absolutely useless.
Yeah, I spent way too much resources on the turrets.
Yeah, and restoration drones as well, but
those eat up a lot of resources. The drones, because then you reach a point where you don't have enough power to then get another restoration drone or another archer missile. So like you'll have 200 power, but I think I think the restoration drones takes 275 or something like that, so you just can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, so everyone died. Alice was able to take out all of those jump pack brutes at the very end, pretty much.
Was she hanging on by a thread, or?
No, she was fine.
Okay.
She was absolutely fine, which is kind of funny. It's like, well, I could probably have just put all the units behind the base and just made Alice do everything, and it would probably be a lot smoother than what happened.
Krista, that's what you're supposed to do.
Really? Oh my god. Alice just tanks everything. Yeah.
Yes. That's literally how I did it. And I got gold and like everybody survived.
What did you do?
You just put all of the units in the back of the base and just make Alice do everything.
That's all you do. Yeah. So you get everything.
You could garrison her
around.
Actually.
And I did a little of that too. So you go around, you get all the early objectives, you get all the supply stuff. You get to the outpost at the very end, and you go. There's four more supply silos in there, so you just grab all those, and then you with everybody else, and then you just stick them way behind in the back. Literally, just stick them back there, and then Alice is in front, and she just wrecks shop. She does everything, and it's amazing.
Also, I didn't realize you could garrison the Cyclopses.
Oh yeah.
At one point, I'm like...
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, at one point, I'm like, I'm missing a Cyclops. Where did that Cyclops go when he was in the garrison? I'm like, how the hell did you get in there?
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone died.
Super well, though, because there's not a lot of range, I don't think.
No, not really. Unless the vehicles are coming, like, right up to them, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone died. Alice was very lonely.
Oh, yeah.
She left everyone in Wonderland and left.
So try it next time where you just put everyone in the back. I mean, she's still going to be by herself, but she's just going to do everything and save them. It's pretty slick. So I did find the turrets handy because they would distract. Like when a new wave of wraiths came in, they would just go and try to destroy the turret right away. And so that would give me time to move Alice over there and take one and then, turn it on the other one. And then the wraiths usually didn't last very long, but that's fine. To David's point, I'd rather have Alice on her 2 feet than in a wraith anyway. But I just moved her around side to side. I did some Lotus mines here and there. I think I did one strike of archer missiles because you need to at least kill 3 units with archer missiles. I think the biggest pain in the ass is the hunters with her because they do hit pretty hard. At some point, I needed to put her back into the one of those 2 garrison spots, and then just to have a little more defense there. But yeah, she can do everything. It's pretty badass. And I think I even used restoration drones. You may have to at some point, but it's pretty slick. So yeah, I did the first time I did everybody as a group and was moving everybody around, and thus everybody died, kind of like what Chris was describing. But Alice is so powerful that you don't even need them at all. Just stick them in the back, let her do everything. It's very good. I have a couple quotes from her, as if you guys noticed along the way. She's just spouting shit the entire time.
She just talks major shit. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's real good. So these are the quotes that I picked up on. One of her first ones that she says right away when she rescues the first set of Hellbringers. She says, "Ready your weapons, troops. We're gonna get everybody back. It's gonna be a ball." Then Hurricane Alice coming through, like Krista said. She says, "I wonder if I can beat my kill streak." Very good. Then at one point she just says, "Say my name." Say my name.
Heisenberg.
Right. What else here? See you back at the mess, which I think she means back at the mess hall. She says, "Oh yeah, right on target. Welcome to the killing floor, suckers." Also a good one. She says, "Taking out the trash" at some point. Let's see here. Oh, she also she talks to the Marines, tries to fire them up. She goes, "You know the drill, team. Don't spare the ammo." Yeah, all good things.
Major shit talker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you really get a good sense of her personality in this mission, which is good, which is fantastic. Because in Halo Wars 1, they're all just walking suits of armor. Can't really tell the difference between any of them.
No, they have no personality whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
They really fleshed them out as characters in this game, which is really good. I'm really happy they did that.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. I'm trying to look at any other kind of tips or anything as I was going through, but yeah. Oh, at one point, so if you're trying to get the time, you can go around and so I did the same thing. Kind of, you do the clockwise motion where you get your initial Marines, you save them right away, and you kind of move up the left and then come back down and get the Warthogs at the very end. You can leave all your Marines and your Cyclops that you had from the left side up right where the outpost is. You send Alice down to get the Warthogs, and she can just clean up that area, no problem. So she'll take out the garrison, the units in the towers and whatnot, and then instead of having to run her and the Warthogs back, you then just take everybody that's right outside the outpost and move them into that area, and then everyone will warp up to the top. It must be some weird glitch thing where it's like, okay, Alice has to be in that outpost area in order to kick off that dialogue where she talks to Cutter. So the computer just the AI just moves everybody up there. So that helps you save 30 seconds or something like that. So try that. I do like her dialogue back and forth with Cutter. It makes sense, like in the lore where she's like, hey, I need extraction. And Cutter's like, we can't quite get you. It's too hot down there, but we can help you out. We can send down some turrets, and then we can give you. And then was it Serena that says, we have access to the Lotus mines now. So all that makes sense.
Serena's dead, man.
Oh, excuse me, Isabel. Ooh,
how dare you?
Ouch. Ouch. Isabel. So she, all that stuff makes sense lore-wise, which I think they did a good job of. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to mention before we go to community and stuff?
Yay, Alice!
Yay, Alice! Any trivia, David?
There's some small bits of trivia. Again, this game doesn't have a whole lot on the trivia scale. There is the end of the level features the first occurrence of a defensive objective in the game. There you go. Oddly enough, the Warthogs that Alice 130 rescues are equipped with M68 Gauss cannons in the final cutscene, despite being armed with a standard Vulcan in the gameplay. I noticed that actually at the end.
That would have been helpful.
Yes, it would have. In the final cutscene, the Marine squads are shown despite never appearing in the level, aside from one Marine squad given at the beginning when playing co-op, apparently. There you go.
Oh, all right. What did you think of the little end cutscene? Like everybody dies, right? It's for Alice.
No, it looks like
a couple of people.
I don't think some of the Pelicans picked up some people, but like the guys in the vehicles are fucked. Like there's Warhogs getting trashed. I mean, they just sat there and blew up. I imagine the Pelicans. There was 3 Pelicans, so they picked up some people, right?
They picked up a couple. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
And then everything else was wrecked because there's like the initial wave that you're able to stop, and then they keep coming. And Cutter's like, we just got to get you out of there. It's interesting how she gets redeployed too. She agrees to just stay down there. So we'll see if that plays into the story here as we keep going.
No, we never see her ever again.
She stays like solo and continues to kind of peck away. I guess that's her role now.
I love that. It's like guerrilla warfare.
Yeah. Yeah, and I like how she also asks who are the banished.
Yeah, she has no idea.
Right, because she wasn't a part of any of that briefing. So she's like, who are these guys? Which is good. The Phoenix log is, I guess the way it's described, in a forest glade between the first 2 prison camps. There's a little spot that you can go and grab that Phoenix log up in there. What's that Phoenix log have to say, Krista?
Well, we only have one, so I am just going to read it. So, my great reading. So this is Alice 130 report number 1. Spartan Alice 130, Spirit of Fire, Red Team, date 3/28/2559. This is Senior Chief Petty Officer Alice 130. Recording status report. Operating comms, silent. I managed to hold them off as long as I could while the Pelicans carried Jerome and Douglas. Once they were clear, I spotted a ghost, commandeered it, and made for the nearest portal. There was a brute coming through from the other side, and I have to admit, his surprised expression as he bounced off the front of the ghost was very satisfying. The portal transported me a couple clicks away from the main force, so I stashed the ghost in a nearby cave and took up watch. After a couple hours perched in a small indent of the cliff face, the hostiles had moved on. A caravan detachment had captured some of our troops from back at the outpost and were taking off in another direction of the main force. So I've been tracking them, maintaining calm silence until it's safe to contact the Spirit of Fire. One more thing. Although the hostile forces consisted of both Ungoi and Jirohane soldiers, they're not kitted out like any I've seen before, and the taking of prisoners is unusual behavior for the Covenant. It's unclear yet whether this is some kind of sub-faction or a new enemy force. I will continue to make and log these reports until contact is reestablished. Alice130 signing off. So she has no idea what's going on.
That's a really good log. I love that though. Just how it fills in everything she's doing. It all makes sense. Wish we got more logs like this.
Yeah, some of them are boring.
Right. Yeah, that was really good. She also mentions that she commandeered a vehicle at some point in the mission itself. So that also plays out there. It also, like, her personality plays through.
Oh yeah.
Too. So yeah, very good writing. All right, let's do some community. What did Facebook have to say?
The communities. Colin Perkins, admin, July 3rd at 2:41 a.m. That's a late one for Colin. My God.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Colin, what are you doing?
What are you doing at 2 a.m., Colin? You have a job. You have a kid.
Nothing.
I'm telling your wife.
Yeah, my God, Colin.
I'm telling on you.
How would you skin your heavy machine gun? Question for Mission Debrief Halo Wars 2 130 mission. Matthew says, the more my count goes up, the more skin my heavy machine gun will get. Lucas says he would paint it like a P-40 Warthog. Sorry. So that's like the standard World War II plane you may have seen, where like it has like the shark mouth
with
on
the
it.
like face.
With the fangs in the face. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure the flamethrower is skinned like that at one stage, but
I think Halo 3.
It up my brain. Yeah, did I see? Yeah, I knew that was a thing. Manny says, slap that bad boy with a Supreme sticker and jack up the price on eBay. Chris says pizza. Kyle says skin. How about making it sound like the turret in Halo 1 and not like an airsoft gun? Kyle shooting some shade. Patrick says a scarab head with the barrel as its beam. Woo version, of course. That's pretty cool. Woo version.
Woo, yeah.
Woo.
Woo, yeah. Oh, woo.
Tom says flames. Everything looks sexier with flames. Burn it all down, baby. Richard says with the skin of my enemies, one big fleshy masky gun.
Ew.
Nasty.
I hope you don't fight the flood.
R.I.P. George. I would have his skin painted like his armor. John says all white with cyan decals. Ryan Jones finally says stars so that my enemies will be starstruck.
Nice.
Badass.
Cool. Thank you, everybody.
Cool. Thanks to Facebook.
Very nice. Paint those things. We need to get some skins in Infinite.
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm sure we will.
Krista, how about Discord?
I'm going to read them really slowly because we're at 30 minutes. Alright, same question. Prophet of Rhyme says maybe the shark skin or shark front with flame back. So I think he's talking about that World War II sharky face.
Yeah.
Like
Matt, the flamethrower type thing, right?
Yes. Matt, who is the Prophet of Regret, because we have prophets now. He says he'd skin it with active camo so you wouldn't know what was shooting at you. It would just look like just bullets willed into existence.
I like that.
Dizzy Bumper says Damascus camo. That's a joke, probably green like UNSC Marines. Dizudo, who is the Prophet of Mercy, says I would use the skin of my victims from the Krista army. Hey, I need them. You can't do that. I need them for things. Snark said, personally, I'd just spray paint Krista is best host, and you can't tell me otherwise on it, or maybe just you are all peanuts. So,
Peanuts.
Peanuts. I don't want to be a peanut. But yes, Krista's, Prophet of Rhyme says, Krista best host. Thank you. Jedi Spartan 38 says,
stay on topic, Krista.
Hey! I'm doing something here. Jedi Spartan 38 says, there's only one true answer. Design it like George's machine gun in Reach. And then the George,
That is a good answer.
and then the George status bot says, "George is alive." Wait, no, I misread the cue card. George is dead. All right, thank you, George status bot. We need that. Barlett King says, "With a holographic display that makes it look like the one from Halo 3. I love spinning barrels."
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's also a good choice. Actually, I like that.
Yeah. Knight Reyna, she's my knight in my army. She says, "Make it camouflaged like a chain gun from Predator should have been." Yap Yap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yap Yap the Destroyer says, "Paint it like Thomas the Tank Engine."
I like that.
I hope
what is the Thomas the Tank and Halo connection? Is it because there's more than just one, isn't there? Maybe I'm thinking Skyrim.
It's Skyrim. In Skyrim, someone made a mod that
right.
made all the dragons Thomas the Tank Engine.
That's right.
And it would, like, instead of roaring like a dragon, it would go toot toot like a train. So, yeah.
There is a video somebody put out where I think Master Chief fights a Thomas the Tank. It's pretty good.
It's just a meme. It's a meme. But I hope when you're, like, revving it up, it plays the theme. Like, da 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 da.
Yes.
That's horrible.
No, that's amazing. Chicken Tendy says, "A very generic shark tooth design."
Mm-hmm.
Nomad Wolf says, "Try olive drab or a very good gray black. Either color says it's from official military hardware, and you're about to get click-clacked." I like the click-clack. Hector says, "Slap a stencil of George's face on there. You were all thinking it, and I did it. Tell him to make it count." And then George status bot reminds us that George is dead. Blue Calc says, "Wart, wart, wart. That's a very machine gun shaped peppermint ice cream, you would say. Wart, wart." I don't know. Is that what you're putting on it? And now they're talking about Kerbal Space Program, so,
Is that it?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Chris, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's the difference between yeeting and getting click-clacked?
Click-clacked is dying. Yeeting is kind of being thrown.
Ah, gotcha.
I thought yeeting was like you yeet out of there, like you run away.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's pretty much just leaving a situation is yeeting. I yeeted out of there, kind of thing.
And where did that come from, Krista?
I don't know, the internet.
Alright, it's an internet thing?
Yeah.
Right.
And then click-clacked is also an internet thing, and that's, you die. You got click-clacked.
Can you get click-clacked from a heavy yeet?
I got yeeted so bad, I yeeted him so bad he click-clacked. He got click-clacked. Maybe. I'm glad I could teach you old guys internet lingo.
Yes, thank you.
Internet grammar, Krista.
I did make one mistake, I think, from last mission, that
Gas.
Alice can take over one of the warthogs.
Oh.
I think I
she
said
can?
that the Spartans can't do that, but I was able to get her in a warthog. It's pointless, but you can do that.
It's pointless.
I think once scorpions come around, that'll probably be more of a thing.
Scorpion.
But yeah, those scorpions. All right, that will do it for our debriefing of the 130 mission from Halo Wars 2. On the next episode, we'll be covering the Cartographer. Send us your thoughts at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet, Podcast Evolved on Twitter. You can also support the show by visiting Podcast Evolved on Patreon. And don't forget that free audiobook trial. Visit audibletrial.com/podcastevolved. Until next time, evolved.
Evolved.
Yay!
Alice, Hurricane.
Alice in Wonderland.